We begin tonight with several developing stories in politics. First, movement on a transformational gas line and an update on two Dan Sullivans running for office. We've got our political reporter Will Courtney standing by to help break all of this down. But let's begin with that gas line and the legislature taking a big step today by approving a bill the governor and developers say will create a pipeline. But Will, you're saying this still has a long way to go.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Augusta. After months of debate, a plan has passed the House this afternoon. And like you said, it's a significant step. The margins were wide, a 34-5 vote. But its chances in the Senate are likely to be very different. The tenor in the House today, this bill struck a balance with state and developer interests. Members of the Senate bipartisan majority, though, have criticized this bill. They say it exempts too much for the developers. With its fate now in the hands of the Senate, its future is the open question going into the weekend. The Senate seems ready to convene Monday afternoon, where they'll have until Friday to pass a bill.
A lot going on there. Now let's head over to elections. The state has found that the Petersburg Dan Sullivan is unable to hold office. What else do we know about this?
Yeah, well, it honestly stops about there. The Elections Division made this letter, which is now public just hours ago, which says the Petersburg candidate hasn't provided enough evidence to prove he's a legitimate candidate. He had until yesterday to prove his case, and as of right now, his name is listed as a candidate still. This comes as national Republican organizations and the senator himself have not only criticized this candidate, but also say he's trying to deceive voters. There are also claims that his opponent, Mary Peltola, was involved in his candidacy, something the lieutenant governor said in a letter this week had credible allegations behind, at least that another campaign was involved. Peltola's campaign denies those accusations, and we have not found a direct link between their campaigns from evidence given to us by these national Republican organizations. I've reached out to the Petersburg Sullivan for the last 14 days. None of my calls or emails have yet to be returned. For expanded coverage, what lawmakers are saying, you can visit our website or our mobile app. Augusta.
All right, Will, thanks so much for your reporting. We'll continue to track those stories. And now, as we head into the weekend, the party is in Palmer as Colony Days Festival returns. There's plenty to do up there for everybody, and we've got our Georgina Fernandez there right now having a look. Georgina, what's going on?
Augusta, we are jumping into summer fun here at Colony Days. Now, this is a 3-day event that kicked off today and goes until Sunday. Right now, Bungee Bounce Alaska, one of the fun things families could check out this weekend. In addition, there are 50 vendors here along with around 15 food carts, so a lot of fun things to check out. In addition, tomorrow at 11 a.m., there is the parade. Now, this will be their largest parade to date, 71 floats. So we're going to say, if you're coming, come out early, bring a sunscreen, and be prepared to have a lot of fun. Now, this event right here, you can go on for 3 minutes, and I've been out here for a few minutes now, and I can tell you it is definitely a workout or super fun and something I recommend to anyone.
Your quads
coming out to Colony Days. Augusta?
Georgina, thanks so much. That does look like a workout. Thanks for checking out the games up there. And it's going to be a kind of mixed weekend. We've got Jackie Purcell joining us now about that. How's the weather looking for everybody who might want to get out to the festival?
Well, I would say tonight is that prime window. You have some beautiful weather out there in the Palmer area. Let's check out some of those current conditions. As you head out, it looks like it's kind of quiet after the Friday night commute. And as far as those current temperatures, 66 degrees, wind fairly light out of the south-southeast at 11 miles per hour. They'll be picking up around the Palmer area as we head through the weekend. So take it in while you can. Here's a look at those other areas seeing some very nice weather in the interior. Fairbanks, 70 degrees. Ketchikan in the sunshine with 66 degrees. And Anchorage seeing that sun as well with a current temperature of 63. But at 69 on the east side of town at the Campbell Creek Science Center with 65 in Merrifield as well as Muldoon here in the last hour. Over 725 strikes of lightning reported across the state, and you can see into the interior a red flag warning. We'll talk about that coming up a little later on the newscast. But the spread of clouds already associated with this next incoming low pressure system starting to appear across parts of the south central region. And then next into the weekend, it is rain. It could be a 1 to as much as 4-inch accumulation around parts of the east-facing slopes of the Kenai Peninsula as well as parts of Prince William Sound. But for tomorrow, we're going for 66, some scattered showers, high temperatures into the mid-70s for Fairbanks and Bethel, 65, still wet weather coming your way in Juneau. I'll have more on the forecast on our Friday coming up later.
All right, Jackie, thanks so much. Now let's head up to Fairbanks, where residents will see their property tax mill rate go up this year after the City Council approved a new rate of around 6.4 mils at Monday's meeting. That's up about half a mil from last year. And for reference, 1 mil represents $1 in taxes for every $100,000 in assessed value. Mayor Mindy O'Neill says this year's rate could have gone up to more than 7 mils. But Mayor O'Neill says the city decided to spread this amount over 5 years to lighten the increase. On Thursday, the Fairbanks North Star Borough approved its mill rate as well. There's a slight decrease from last year. Taxes for the borough and city are due by September 1st. If you're making 2 payments, the second is due by November 2nd. We are just kicking off our weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for 907 Friday. And we've got Joe Allgood joining us this week for a look at some of Anchorage's favorite burgers. And he even got in on the grilling action himself today. So we'll send it on up to our Joe Allgood. Tessie, I mean,
everybody knows that you got to get a barbecue in during the summer. And we're doing that just right up here on the roof of the station. We couldn't ask for finer weather. Of course, hamburgers are a summer staple for any barbecue. So you got to have those. And Anchorage has plenty of good choices to choose from. Here's a look at just a few of those. We tried out some of Rage City's finest, everything from Tommy's Burger Stop in Spenard to the doozy of a deep fried double at Main Event Grill, and of course the all-time classics at Arctic Roadrunner. You can't go without those. We've got all of those wrapped up tonight in the next installment of 907 Friday, so be sure to tune in to the late edition for that one. And of course, the best part of any barbecue is the part I'm about to take part in, which is the eating part. So I'm going to dig in here. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
I just want you to know, Joe, I like everything on my burger. Well, Friday night is here. It's another June weekend coming our way. Those day lengths, they are lengthening, just about nearing their maximums. Check out the sunsets for Anchorage, Fairbanks, Juneau, and Bethel.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.